What's going on, y'all? We got a great episode today, but before we can get any further, if your name is Mad McKay or Luis Rodriguez, send me an email at bearevans@icloud.com and I will send you a goodie package. You have won. Please get to me by, Monday? By next Monday, if you still want to be a winner. If not, I'm going to announce a different subscriber to get the care package you have won. So with that, we're going to be getting right into it, guys. We're going to go over UFC 308. We're going to be talking about why Khamzat Chimaev only fights in Dubai or in the Middle East at Fight Island. And then secondly, we're going to be going over the co-main event / third spot, going back and forth. One of the main fights, the main attractions around this card is canceled. So with that, let's get right into Khamzat Chimaev talking about his passport or his visa, whatever immigration issues he has.
On his visa issues in a recent video posted on YouTube. He said this in the video: "They promised me a title eliminator every time. When I fought Gilbert Burns, it was the #1 contender fight. After the Kamaru Usman fight, I didn't get the title shot either. Now it's the third time. Let's see. Hopefully they will give me the title shot. As long as Donald Trump is not the president, we can't come back to the US." Khamzat believes that if the Republican Party can win, he'll be granted his US visa because of Dana White's close ties with Trump, saying, "Of course, he's a Republican like Dana White. I think they will be friends with Russia again." If Trump loses, do you think Dana White will give Khamzat a chance to fight for the title? Can the promotion risk having a fighter that cannot fight in the US? Let us know what you think. Next up, we have the mayor of Chicago.
Buzz Brands offers a wide variety of high-quality, low-cost, and low-dose THC options. It's made for the functional person who uses THC, whether it's to enhance life, for pain, or for mood. They have energy drinks, my personal favorite, gummies, shots, and ice creams, guys. Whenever you make a purchase, enter Bear in the notes. Guys, okay, first off, it's funny. He's like, hey, as long as Donald Trump is here or whatever, Dana White won't. Dude, Khamzat Chimaev is not allowed into America, and it's not merely based off of where he's from geographically. It's based off of the relationships he has made and gone back to. More specifically, I believe it's like the Chechnyan. I might butcher this a little bit, but you're going to get the bro science part of it. It's like the Chechnyan president, the guy who rules Chechnya, the dictator. Really bad, awful guy. Has like ties to like old Soviet Union and all that in Russia. Khamzat Chimaev is like best friends with him. There's many clips of him wrestling, including his son, the Chechnyan, leader, dictator son. Him and Khamzat are very close, and ever since then, and his relationship has been public, he has not been allowed to go into America to fight. So it's not the UFC's fault, Khamzat. So let's go about Gilbert Burns, Khamzat Chimaev. That was the welterweight, right? Khamzat Chimaev right now is in middleweight. So yes, was that supposed to be a title eliminator shot? Absolutely, but a few caveats to that. One, it was a very close split decision win, even though it was a war. Two, he also had issues making weight when it came to fight Nate Diaz. And in between that, I believe there was a canceled fight as well, too. So now you have this guy who's missed weight. There's all this talk saying he can't get to welterweight. He needs to fight middleweight. He fights at middleweight, and now he fights again at middleweight. He did Kevin Holland when he missed weight for Nate Diaz. Then he's fought again in the middleweight division, but then versus Kamaru Usman, if you remember, was the former welterweight champion. That's one division, one weight class underneath the middleweight, right? Kamaru Usman lost it to Leon Edwards. He lost to no one else. In their second match, he lost the belt, did a rematch loss. Next fight is Khamzat, loses that to a very close split decision, I believe, win as well, too. It was not unanimous. So Khamzat continually cannot make weight in welterweight, and also he continually cancels fights due to sicknesses or issues with his visa and not being able to come into America. So it's like, okay, we set up Fight Island, we got everything set up, and he still misses fights just due to his health and sickness. Khamzat Chimaev was one of my absolute favorite prospects coming up during the COVID-19 time. If you remember, he had the fastest turnaround time ever, faster than John Jones. I think John Jones and someone else had a little bit of a close record. Khamzat Chimaev smashed us with the fastest turnaround time ever in a UFC octagon in a professional fight. I think it was like 8 days or something like that. Insane. I even have a flag of him in my garage where I train boxing during all my boxing fight camps and stuff like that. I used to look at that flag as like, I kill everyone, and all that stuff. I miss that Khamzat Chimaev. It's just insane. This guy who was like this unbeatable boogeyman nightmare just continues to look more and more human, and also is just wasting all of this potential in his prime while he's peaking because he's not able to get his health in order and his visa in order. To me, being, if you're fighting and you're really into it, and I can speak for a little bit in terms of, I can draw similarities to in my amateur boxing career when I was trying to pursue that. I mean, that is everything trying to get that win. And I'm talking on an amateur level. I'm just wanting to get the trophy, get the medal, whatever. That is all that matters. So now, let's go to professional fighting, not only boxing now, but we're going to MMA, professional fighting, much, much more dangerous reward, much bigger risk to reward. It also is the UFC with implications of becoming the champion. That should be at the pinnacle of your wish list, of your most want list, of your manifest list, of whatever you're working towards. That should be what it is, right? And Khamzat has done everything not to go ahead and get up there, because to me, I would get rid of all relationships. I wouldn't have switched my citizenship from Sweden to Dubai or wherever the hell he is in the Middle East so he can go ahead and facilitate all that. And I get it. He's Muslim. It's a huge Muslim community. He lives like a king. They give him G-Wagons, Rolls Royces, let him train wherever, free food. I get that. He's living like a king. But my thing is should have moved back to Sweden. Stayed in Sweden is what I meant, not moved back. We should have stayed in Sweden, not all done that with his citizenship and changing over countries of origin. That way it was easier for him to get back into America and kept his relationships, if he wanted to still keep him with the Chechnyan dictator, quiet or secret. But to me, I'd be like, F that guy. I'm over in America, like chasing, my dreams, for UFC championship. I want UFC gold. Doesn't matter what division. I'm not going to hang out with this guy. I am so sorry. But to me, it just shows that fighting is not Khamzat's priority. It is not his number one. Comment down below. I didn't even know this guy, Khamzat, had like a family until like a year ago, until he got married, right? I'm like, oh shit, this guy's married, has kids, all the 9 yards. I'm like, where is that, Khamzat? Like, we don't need to know about all your personal life, and you let it get so personal that you lost your chances to enter America because you wanted to make those Instagram posts with the Chechnyan dictator. If you know that guy's name, comment it down below. With that, guys, do you think Khamzat can beat the champion, Dracus du Plessis? They've been going back and forth. I really don't think so. Watching him fight Gilbert Burns and then Kamaru Usman, man, I think Dracus runs him over. That is just in my opinion. So far, I think I've called every single fight correctly except for one on this channel, so hopefully that holds some credence. With that, guys, we're going to go to the UFC 308 card. Headlining it for possibly not the BMF belt. We haven't heard anything about it. Ilia Topuria has held it, taking photos of it, but it was not. He bought his own as a joke because they're going to be doing it in the featherweight. Max Holloway won it, and it usually is won in the lightweight, right? And so, with that, Topuria Holloway, Whitaker versus Khamzat. And then, I don't know if it's Khamzat or Khamzat, but I get shit no matter what way I say it, so I don't know, but I just call him Khamzat. Deal with it, or you know what I mean, you don't have to watch this. Then we have Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. This was the main one we want to talk about. This fight actually got canceled, and we're going to go ahead and break it in right now and see what happened.
Volkov is out of his fight with Cyril Gane at UFC 308 due to an injury. The bout is currently being rescheduled for UFC 310 in December. Top comments. Conor McGregor is...
Okay, the Volkov Gane fight was out. And you know what's interesting about that? That fight had a lot of implications, and I don't know what the injury is, but I do know it's off. This fight was getting flip-flopped between the Whitaker Chimaev fight for, co-main event versus third slot, because Khamzat Chimaev he's not reliable right now. He's very unreliable, a hard person to do business with in the fight community, right? So, Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. Why is this fight important? Because remember, when Tom Aspinall, the real heavyweight champion of the world, don't let the word interim in front of it fool you, the real baddest guy in the heavyweight, he was calling out Cyril Gane like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Cyril Gane ignored him. He went on this tear, did all this, you know what I mean? And he has had an amazing streak in the UFC, obviously undefeated in the UFC. I think 100% finish rate. Well, now, Gane is trying to call out Tom Aspinall, and Aspinall is like, screw you, dude, screw that. He believes that the competition he has fought in, Sergey, obviously, definitely, I think, can prove that, was tougher than Cyril Gane. Like, hey, he's not necessarily next. He just got choked out by the champion. I'm the champion. I think John Jones is the old champion in Tom Aspinall's line. He is to mine, too, because since he's fighting Stipe, to me, he is not the actual undisputed. So, now Cyril Gane, because he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall back when he had the opportunity to, is not going to be able to have this impressive, awesome fight. Yes, it is rescheduled, but the faster Cyril beats someone, I don't know if he beats Volkov. It's ranked number 2 and ranked number 3, but the winner of that fight is going to be set up to either fight Tom Aspinall next, after Tom Aspinall's next fight. What is Aspinall's next fight? Well, there's two scenarios to play this. No matter what, if the winner of Stipe and Jones, which I believe unequivocally they are not, but if the winner of Stipe and Jones wants to fight and continue to defend their title, it is up against Tom Aspinall next. Dana White has said that 3,000 times. But if they don't want to fight, which I don't think they do, Stipe's already said he's retiring. John Jones, we know damn well doesn't want to fight freaking Aspinall. I can see if Stipe clips John Jones, knocks him out, lucky punch, gets his timing right, he might be like, you know what, F it. I knew I was going to lose to John Jones. I'm like 40 years old. I haven't fought since 2020, like in 5 years, 4 years, screw it. I'll fight Tom Aspinall. I can see there being a small chance if that scenario plays out. But if the scenario plays out how everyone thinks it is, how fighting math says it is, which it's the fight game, it can never be reliable. There's injuries and all these other factors that account for it. But Jones versus Stipe, Jones wins. Jones is not fighting Aspinall, right? Let's say Stipe somehow wins. He just wants to retire as the freaking guy who murdered the GOAT. Well, Aspinall then is fighting the winner of Volkov versus Gane next. Comment down below, who do you think would be a harder matchup for Aspinall? I truly do believe this is Aspinall's next opponent is the winner of Volkov versus Gane, because even though Dana White says Tom Aspinall's next in line for the winner of the Jones versus Stipe fight, they're not fighting him. Who do you think's going to win? I think Volkov actually will take this fight. I think he has better grappling. I don't like Ciryl Gane's grappling. Look at the John Jones fight. This guy looked like he didn't even put effort into it. I think Volkov wins. He's also been on a recent tear, and I think that'd be an amazing, even though I think Aspinall and Volkov have already fought, I believe. I need to probably look that up. Don't know that for certain. I'm just talking off my head here. I don't research anything before I start opening it up. That's what makes this not like work, but it'd be an amazing rematch, and if not, stylistically would be an amazing fight. So, with that, then we have Magomedov, Ankalaev versus Rakic. I think that is going to be super freaking awesome because what is next for Alex Pereira? He's kind of waiting, obviously he has the Roundtree fight. After the Khalil fight, though, what is next for Alex? Is he going to try to fight Drakus, which he definitely has every single opportunity and reason for that to be allowed and go for double champ status unless Drakus moves up. But if not, it is Ankalaev next. We have Shara Magomedov. That's going to be a great fight versus Arman. I don't know this guy, but I love watching Shara or Sarah Magomedov. That's what they call him in short. I love watching his fights and his performance. I think his kickboxing is outstanding, guys. With that, leaving it here, what fight are you most excited for UFC 308? For me, obviously, it is the main event. So let me do some picks right here. I'm going to say that, this is going to be 50-50. It's either Topuria by knockout or Max Holloway by decision, but I'm going to go for Max Holloway by decision or TKO in the 5th or 4th round. So for me, Max Holloway. Whitaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Gosh, Robert's defensive wrestling is so good, and he does those blitz, but Khamzat's striking is very good. He has great timing, a great uppercut, and a pretty good knee. His wrestling also is amazing, but he hasn't gotten enough fights to get the experience to know when to slow it down and things like that when he's fighting because he does gas himself out. But you know what? I'm going to go for Khamzat for the finish, guys. I'm going to go for Khamzat for the finish, even though I think Robert Whitaker has every single opportunity. I'm going for Volkov by TKO or submission. Ankalaev, same thing. And then, obviously, we're going for Magomedov, guys. But leaving it there, guys. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for the support. Posting every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday just for y'all, guys. It is for free and does not affect you at all. So please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. It helps me out so much. Obviously, the subscription is what gets me paid. Those are the analytics that YouTube's like. So if you could, like, subscribe. No one cares about your YouTube subscribe to subscriber ratio. That's only for the other social medias. I'm out. Peace.